Hello, this is Man Cave Comics, and I am actually doing another video, and it hasn't been more than a year since the last one, so we're making progress here. This one was inspired by Keston's old school comic. My son is enjoying the YouTube comic community, and he was gorging on various channels, and Keston's uh, video where he showed all the grades he had between zero point 0.5 and 10.0 fascinated him, so he has been nagging me to do this video. So I have Keston to thank, and WeLoveComics is the original person who came up with this challenge. So I am going to do a similar challenge that Keston did. It's going to be all Golden Age, and it is going to be all Blue Label. And there are 25 different grades, 0.5 up to 10.0, and I don't have three of them. So I don't have three of them. So I guess that's 22. So without further ado, and also it is Memorial Day coming up, so it's going to have a World War II theme to honor and remember those who fought for our freedom. So let's start with Captain America. We got Captain America 25 and a 0.5. This is a complete copy and a beautiful Sid Shores cover. Captain America has a grenade and Bucky has a Tommy gun. They are on skis and they are fighting Japanese soldiers. So there's my lowest grade comic. I do have a 1.0. This is one of the few non-war covers I'm going to show. But you could argue this is a war cover. It is from 1939. Fox featured Syndicate. Lou Fine cover, and Lou Fine is certainly considered one of the greatest Golden Age cover artists. This is a low grade, a 1.0. You can see the tape on the spine. First appearance of Samson. And he is attacking what looks like soldiers. That gun is quite fabulously ridiculous. But I guess I'll call it a war comic. And there you go, 1.0. Next is another timely. This is Marvel Comics number 40, 1.5 grade. This is a Schoenberg cover. I know Keston loves Schoenberg, and I think he likes the airbrush crap more. Excuse me, the airbrushed art more. I like the war stuff. And this is a famous Zeppelin cover. Human Torch is destroying a Nazi Zeppelin. You got all the soldiers on the beach who are fighting off the Nazis coming in on parachutes, the typical Schoenberg detail. The guns are sort of colored, they always with bright primary colors, and that's a hallmark of Schoenberg covers. Guns. And otherwise, just a beautiful book. All right, let's keep it going. We got a 1.8. This is Military Comics number 1. It is the first appearance of Blackhawk, and this is in honor of my mother, who really inspired me to love comics. And when she was growing up, her favorite comics were Blackhawk, Little Lulu, Captain Marvel, or probably Mary Marvel, and Plastic Man. So she had a proclivity for quality comics, it seems. And can't believe I have this. This is a beautiful book. Let's keep going. And that was Will Eisner, cover and story. One of the few non-war books. This is Batman number 11, first Joker appearance on a cover of a Batman comic. And this one I originally got as a 1.8, and it was in a magazine case. It had a major spine roll. I sent it to Kenny Sanderson, and he took out the spine roll, cleaned it up, and came back at 2.0 in a regular case. There's one thing Golden Age comic collectors don't like. It's getting a Golden Age comic in a magazine case, unless there's no choice but to be in a magazine case. So here we go. Reportedly a Bob Kane cover. There's always some question about that. National Comics number 7 for 2.5. This is a beautiful Uncle Sam cover, another Lou Fine cover. Got Uncle Sam fighting Nazis underwater, and you got this large, almost tank slash ship in the background. Just one of the more iconic covers. What's not to like? Keep on rolling. Another Schoenberg cover. This is Real Life Comics number 3, The Emperor of Hate. This is from 1943. And it actually did a little biography of Hitler in this book, talking about how he failed out of art school and became a real pain in the ass after that. So, got the skull in front, and just one of those iconic books. Moving on to 3.5. Pep Comics 34. Bob Fujitani cover. Bondage cover, skull cover. Nazi villain with a canister. This is actually canister with gas coming out. It looks like a syringe, but it's not. Got Shield and Hangman in the front. And this book, the Pep comic books are wonderful war propaganda books often. And this is one of my favorite. Got this from my boy Lee Polanski. Red Raven number 1. This is the only appearance of Red Raven, and that when it becomes number 2, it becomes Human Torch number 2. This is a Jack Kirby cover, timely book. It's a 4.0, and it's a pretty rare book, to say the least. 4.5, we got Black Hawk. I love this cover. It's a beautiful red cover, Black Hawk with a Tommy gun, very simple. This is 1948, so this is one of the few books I'm going to have that's actually not World War II era. But I just love this book so much that I had to show it. Rolling right along. Everybody knows I love Captain Marvel, and Fawcett Comics had many war propaganda covers. And for anybody who's interested in getting into war propaganda covers of the Golden Age, Fawcett are actually some of the cheaper ones out there, and they're quite beautiful. This is a C.C. Beck cover. You have Captain Marvel marching along with soldiers, ready to do some business. This is a 5.0. So far, haven't missed a grade. Got them all. Oh, I will not edit that out. Got Blue Ribbon Comics. This is a beautiful book. We got this gentleman here with 3 machine guns, all put together, firing them off at once. This is the cover artist is Charles Biro, who is one of my favorite cover artists of the Golden Age. And this is one of his more tame covers. He actually has some pretty twisted stuff a lot of the time. He definitely more had a pre-code horror mentality than your usual fun and good stuff. Now, this is a 5.5, and just love it. I like the back ad too. It's MLJ. So MLJ is another company that had MLJ made Pep Comics that I showed earlier, and they're just great books. All right, back to Timely. This is an Al Iverson cover, I believe. Yes. Yeah. It's a 6.0, Captain America number 16. And what's not to like? You got bondage. You got a Red Skull being punched. You got an individual with a large spiked mace. And I got this from Lee as well. By the way, a few of these books I got from Stray Flexen. He's another source of Golden Age comics. So I mentioned Red Raven number 1. Well, this is Human Torch number 2, which continued after Red Raven 1. Schoenberg cover. First appearance of Toro in a 6.5. Moving on up. Another Fawcett comic. This is Bullet Man with a silver metallic ink at a 7.0. Just a beautiful book. This is not McRoboy, though. It's Charles Sultan cover. I don't have a McRoboy cover in this. That's an oversight on my part, but what can you do? Sensation Comics 20. This is actually a 7.5. It is from the Promise collection. It's Wonder Woman in a Jeep with a bunch of lady officers. And what's not to love on this book? H.G. Peter cover and story. So we got to 7.5. Getting more difficult, as Keston mentioned on his video. It's hard to get high-grade Golden Age books. They're out there, but compared to Bronze Age or later, it is an even Silver Age. Getting a 9.8 and those levels is very difficult. So having an 8.0, I feel very fortunate. This is Wiz Comics 33. You got Captain Marvel punching soldiers into Spy Smasher's hands, and they're making a nice pile of soldiers there. All right. More Fawcett. Got Spy Smasher number 4. I love this cover. It has the Capitol building. It has a vulture. Look, so I guess that's the spy, symbolizing the nefarious nature, and Spy Smasher looking over. It's beautiful. This is also a pedigree. This is a Rockford pedigree book. Got this from Yaniv, straight flexing. For my 9.0, I have Thrills of Tomorrow 17. This is another non-war age book. And it is a creepy pre-code horror cover, as you can see. Someone's developing a picture, and the picture is definitely a story that needs to be worked out. But I love it. At 9.2, I have a wonderful book. It is Plastic Man 26, and this is a Mile High pedigree. So it's probably a lowish grade Mile High pedigree, but what's not to love? Plastic Man stealing some jewels through a sewer grate. Lastly, because this is the highest graded Golden Age book I have, is a Catechetical Guild book called Is This Tomorrow? It's from 47, and it is a anti-communist propaganda comic made by the Catholic Church, and there are a few of them that were specifically anti-communist, and gotta love this one. The flames, the struggle, the American flag. And there's 3 versions of this one. This one is the one with the empty circle with no price. I believe the price tag variant is the more rare one. And then there's one with no circle at all, or price. So that does it for my attempt at having every grade available. And maybe one day I'll have a 9.6 and a 9.8. I don't even want a 9.9 or a 10.0 Golden Age, because that would probably be astronomically expensive. And I hope you enjoyed this, and you guys take care. Happy Memorial Day.